Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning that we are doing the Tuesday meeting at the Vaal, the classic meeting. Welcome to Betway Weighted to Win and Blue Voucher in the festive mood that they're in, giving away up to 200,000 Rand in vouchers. You've just got to SMS the voucher that you buy to that number that's on the screen, and that'll be fantastic where you get into the queue of standing a chance of winning that sort of money during this festive week. Now we're going to start at the Vaal first race. It's been raining, I've been told, the last couple of days, so it's likely to be a softer track than what we saw on the weekend, no doubt about that. And this is a maiden plate, the starter over 1,600 meters. And the market this morning has got one Winds of Grace, top of the boards at 18 to 10. 4 Galaxy Queen is 22 to 10. There's been some money for Galaxy Queen, and 3 Hubertus Hunt is trading at 5 to 2. They bet 10 to 1 and better the balance. Daryl Marie's on the line. He's promised us a Christmas box today, so we're waiting. Did it come up in the first, Daryl, or what's the story?
Morning, Clyde. Morning to the viewers. No, but it comes up in the second. The opening race on the card is the first leg of the bipot. I've chosen to go numbers 1 and 4. I'm very confident that we will survive this leg, if not double up. Now, Mr. Asman, he's been through a torrid time recently, Clyde. He's had quite a few places, but the winners haven't been coming in. And let's hope Winds of Grace breaks the ice for him just before Christmas. I think her most recent run over a mile, which is her only run over a mile, is possibly her best effort to date when running second behind Duchess of Paloma. Now, that form line has worked out extremely well. Obviously, Duchess of Paloma came out and won again and then ran second, Clyde. Into dancing, the fourth horse won. The sixth horse was Kensal Green, 11 lengths behind. She won. Now, in that very same race, Clyde was her biggest danger, and that is number 4, Galaxy Queen. She was only having her second start, and she finished a few lengths behind Winds of Grace. Obviously, she's got more scope for improvements. Last time out, she did, however, disappoint. She seemed to be a bit one-paced, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Craig Zaki take the bull by the horns and push forward, if not lead, on number 4, Galaxy Queen. So she does have a possibility of reversing that form, but on paper, she's held. Like I said, 1 and 4, the race stops there for me.
Okay, got them in our bipots. Excuse me. Winds of Grace and the 4 Galaxy Queen, and that bipot cost 240. On to the second race now, maiden plate over the 1,600 meters. And the market looks like this for the second race. They're backing number 9 one of those days. Is currently at 2 to 1, was 4 to 1 earlier. 10 Shori Bomber is at 33 to 10. 11 Babette's Feast is 33 to 10. Some interest in that as well. A little bit of money there. Also, actually, for Shori Bomber, the 10 horse. Then the 7 Lancelot is 9 to 2. And they bet 8 to 1 about Milan's World. They have taken out Garvius, Garvius Maximus, that's not running. But that's all okay for now. Daryl, I know this is the horse you want to tell us about.
This is the one, Clyde. I've been waiting for him to run for exactly 19 days. Now, I opened the book and I said, what are the dangers? I don't like Milan's World. Number 1, I don't like Inclusion. I don't like Coppercliff. I don't like Lancelot. And I don't like Babette's Feast. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with One of Those Days and Shori Bomber. Then I went onto the Racing Today website, Clyde, or the app. Under archives, you can watch the replays free of charge. And I said to myself, as the Lebanese like to say, yeah, mommy, this is the one. We don't stop backing until the starter says heads up, Clyde. Please, many people on leave currently. If you are on leave and you do have the time, go watch this horse's replay. He bounced out so well, and for some reason, he found himself turning into the straight closer to last. And he is way, way better than that effort. I'm expecting him to reverse the form with Shori Bomber. Shori Bomber is the danger, but based on what I saw, Clyde, this is the Christmas box, and let's hope he romps.
Okay, thank you for that. One of those days. That's the present from Daryl. second race on the card, and it's the start of the place accumulator. On to race number 3. Let's get our pick sixes on. Number 3, Sky Pillar Rock, the favourite at 5-2. 4, Banner Bridge is 7-2. The 8, Cass's Belly is 11-2. 7, Pretty Analia, 6-1. The 2 horse, One More Star, 13-2 at the moment. Number 5, Eiffel Tower, 7-1. And the 1, Inconquesi, 8-1. You can get double figures about the balance. First leg of the Christmas week pick 6. Daryl, how many do we need?
Clyde, my original pick 6 worked out to 80,000 Rand. My present one is 4,480 Rand. If you want to take 1%, it's just on 45 Rand for an interest. It is a very, very tricky card. I've only opted to go 2 horses in the opening leg because of the cost of the perm. I would have loved to have more. I've gone with my top 2 choices. Number 3, Sky Pillar Rock. Now, you can see there's not much separating himself and Banner Bridge on the Chabal run, but he's more racing fit presently, and I also believe he's better over the 2000 than the 2400. So I'm going with him to reverse the form with Banner Bridge. The stable has come very, very well. Robin Clarkson. My backup, Clyde, is number 2, One More Star. Now, if you told me this horse is going to race off a 78 a couple of months ago, I would have said there's no possible way. I'm just wary that we haven't seen the best of him due to him still being a colt. I think once this horse gets gelded, he'll bounce back to much more consistent form. However, his 2 runs for Mr. Laird have been 10th beyond Dark Silver, where he was in need of it and was wearing blinkers. Then Mr. Laird took the blinkers off, brought him back in trip over 1450, and he was staying on in a fast run race up front behind Palace Prince over a distance short of his best. Now you can see Clyde, he ran a cracking second over 2000 behind Silvano's Song in his post-maiden effort off an 86. So I think that now that he's been stepped up to 2000, being more racing fit off a 78, we have to see some improvement. But you can't really rely on him because he's clearly not at his best. Thereafter, Clyde, there is a form update for Nkunkwezi. She disappointed. She ran 6 out of 6 beyond Milan's World, beaten 11.5 lengths. That run I can't go into this race with confidence with. I mean, she didn't beat a horse home. Let's see who my third choice is. Cassius Belli. But I watched his replay of his last start. He had every opportunity to go past them with 400 meters to go. He was in the perfect position. He was just extremely one-paced. So based on what I saw from Savannah last time out, in a very mature ride, a very cool ride, he could have had more to come because the first 2 were as much as 8 lengths ahead of the balance of the pack. So let's hope we survive. 2 and 3, yeah, Clyde.
Yeah, okay. I also like One More Star a lot here. Let's get this pick 6 on now, everybody. Let's have a look at race number 4. Father Christmas is running here. How's that? Christmas a couple of days away, and there's a horse called Father Christmas that runs now. And they backed it too. It's 28-10. In fact, they backed 4 horses here. 6 Prince of Kildare shortened 7-2. 9 Force Publique shortened 9-2. And the 2 Express Yourself, well, that's held its own. It's currently at 5-1. Also, Lady Blunt, they're backing that as well. 11-2, and it's 7-1 about number 1, Johnny Drama. How's that for an omen, Daryl?
Indeed, Clyde. I like the look of him. Reason being is he caught the eye on the Highveld debut for Tony when 3rd behind Palace Prince. That was over a similar course and distance, a 50 meters difference on the classic track. And last time out, Clyde, it was a great ride by Jared Penny. He scooted off to the front on Capola. He hugged that inside running rail. And Father Christmas, and I think it was Ferrer Jacques, 4 tight second position. He may be better around the bend, this horse. And Craig Zaki gets a great opportunity now. He's obviously primed for this. I mean, Tony's had a few extra days to work on him, and he's going to go extremely close. However, Clyde, the race doesn't stop there. Number 9, Force Publique. I'm sitting here. Obviously, we're recording this on Monday morning, but praying that this form line has really stood up with one of those days and Shori Bomber in the second race. Now, Clyde, honestly, he's really done nothing wrong since being tried over extra. He ran a lovely third when in need of it, returning from a layoff behind Tommy Atkins. The second was bolted up in his next start, a gogo. And then last time out, a gutsy victory beating Johnny Go Johnny. Go Johnny Go. Neat draw, Clyde. He obviously stays the trip and he's making his handicap debut. He could be better than currently rated. In my jackpots, I have included number 1, Johnny Drama, because we such a week in, week out and say follow stables in yard, Clyde. Forms in yard. Follow stables in form. And have a look at this son of What a Winter. He's only been to the classic track twice and he's unbeaten. And Savannah, last time out, rode a very cool race. Himself and Guerrilla Warfare were 3.5 lengths clear of the third horse, which may prove to be a lenient penalty of £5. And then I've also included the filly. Now, Lady Blunt, she tends to over race in over distances of 17 and 1800 meters, and I like the fact that Brett's bringing her back in trip. She is my only fourth selection over here, so I've included her for wider players. But Father Christmas and Force Publique are my top 2 selections. Clyde, I'm sitting here and I'm saying I'm leaving out a horse like Prince of Kildare, who's in great form. Express Yourself, who comes to the Highveld, making his debut for Candace and Tammy. Yeah, so the race is open, but we need to stop somewhere, don't we, Clyde?
Yeah, absolutely. Good Father Christmas. If he can just run straight, that's his only problem. It's like he needs the dentist, that guy. Just keeps hanging all the time. But let's hope that he gets it right. That's our jackpot. All right, everybody, welcome back. Time to have a look at race 5, where the 3 Tina Lovelace tops the boards. It's 22-10 to win this. 6 Lady Sabrina is at 5-1. Number 9, Let's Go Lola, 5-1. Been a bit of money for Let's Go Lola, poor Machatos. Number 2, Francillian, you can get 7. The 5, Hong Kong, is at 7. Also interesting, Gavin Larina's ride. Yeah, some money for that. And 8-1 about the 8, Princess Hilaria. You can get 10-1 and better about the balance. Tricky sort of race. I know they're also backing this Tina Lovelace here. Daryl, what do you make of it?
Honestly, not for me, Clyde. You know, she picked up a hefty penalty when running second to Golden Palm. She hasn't quite reached that mark in her 2 comeback efforts. Yes, she's probably peaking now, but I don't believe she's achieved anywhere near that mark recently. So I'm quite surprised at the current betting. I think she's priced up way too skinny, because now she has to prove that mark now that she's in a handicap. Last time out, she was weighted to win. Penultimate start, she was weighted to win. Now in a handicap, let's see how she goes. But like I say, peak racing fitness. Francillian, this filly tends to be her own worst enemy at the pens. I mean, she's very fractious, temperamental. I just want to see her load calmly. And then we'll see the best of her. Last time out, Craig went for a run on the inside running rail, wasn't quite there, and then he switched out and he was very kind on her in the latter stages. She's better than that, and I like the fact that she's back at the Vaal, so leaning towards number 2, Francillian, as the likely winner. I have to believe Pointer's the improver, number 4. Clyde, that was a very, very strong race. The Whistle the Tune run. So she was also in need of that. I mean, she was returning from a layoff on that occasion. And then last time out, Clyde, sorry, that was, I think, in the Betway National Colour Stakes. And then last time out, she jumped from the worst barrier position and she didn't disgrace herself. Now she's peaking and she's got a much better draw, much more favorable draw. I think of a rating of 89, we're going to see her bounce back to a more consistent run, and she could potentially fight out the finish. I think she's way, way overpriced, number 4 pointer. Now I know number 5, Hong Kong's held by Let's Go Lola on their last run, but I think Hong Kong, back in a handicap, from a very, very good draw around the bend. We've seen this filly do well in a mile before, where she actually beats Kiss Houghton behind It's Her Way, and then they've brought her back in trip. But I think 1400 on the classic track is a sweet spot for her, so I'm expecting her to reverse the form with Let's Go Lola. I've gone with numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. If you want to add one more, I'd probably go with Let's Go Lola, but the cost of the perms are way too much to include her, Clyde.
Okay, well, as it stands now, that jackpot's 560 Rand. Let's get our jackpots on, everybody. On to the next race. This is a tricky one. I know we've gone field here. So, yeah, not an easy race. Let me give you some guidance from a betting perspective. 3 Saragossa Cat is 19-10 on the Monday morning. 6 Fire in Her Soul is 4-1. 4 Whirly Bird, 13-2. 5 Open Sesame, 7-1. 2 Princess Kira, 17-2. Now, that's who they're backing. They're backing this horse that Michaela Michelle's riding, Princess Kira, 17-2 for Sean Terry. And the 7 Into Dancing is trading at 12, and 12's and better about the others. It also heavenly good, 12-1, 16-1 and better the balance. Daryl, a little bit of support for Princess Kira. I know you liked her once before. Any sort of chance?
She's gone into my pick 6 and my jackpots because I've gone the entire field here. This Clyde is very, very open. I think there's some value with a few runners over here, namely number 1, and that is Sister Golden Hair. Now, Clyde, she is most effective when up front. I mean, she won her maiden start to finish, and then she beat Little Miss Splendid, who ran a cracking run. I think it was in the Fillies Mile. Start to finish. So it appears on paper that sorry, it wasn't Little Miss Splendid. My mistake. But Clyde, she appears on paper that she's best when she's allowed to stride up front. Now she's having her peak run. I just hope she breaks well, unlike her last start when she came out slowly. If she breaks well and she's on the front foot, I think she'll run much, much better, and I'm expecting improvements. Number 5, Open Sesame. She was off the track for 4 months last time out, and the pre-race comments from the yard were extremely upbeat. But I think she may have just needed it. She gave way very late. I'm expecting improvement from her. Fire in Her Soul and Saragossa Cat. There's not much separating the two of them. They have to be included. Into Dancing is my suggested bet in this race, and I'm only suggesting to viewers that they take a place bet. I like the fact that she's coming back in trip with the blinkers on. I really, from her second start, I thought to myself, this filly's going to do well in handicaps, and she didn't quite live up to expectations, and Mr. Pettigrew put her away. And I think she's now turned the corner. I think the penny has really dropped. So I'm really keen to see how she goes in a handicap. They are going to go quicker up front, and I think she'll be running on smartly. So I'm expecting her to run into the money. I'm not saying she's a good thing, but she is my number 1 choice.
All right, she's 5-2 in the top 3 at the moment, Into Dancing. So we'll take her, as you've recommended, to run a place. Here's a look now at race number 7. This is For Racing Wishes You a Merry Christmas handicap. It's a 91. It's over 1,000 meters up the straight. And in terms of the Monday morning market, number 7, Magnaletti, even money. They bet 7-1 bar 1 with regards to this particular event. Talk to me about Magnaletti, what you made of her last start. She won first time out impressively. Second time out, she started, I think she started around 9 to 10 even money or thereabouts. And she ran to that horse Anchorage. What did you make of that, Daryl?
I think the connections were disappointed that meeting was moved because it was originally meant to be staged on the vaal track and it was moved to the inside. Clark, you know, we all heard the post race interview when she won her maiden. And I mean, what we heard in that interview, there was no doubt she'd bolted up on debut. I just wish we got that info prior. But then she raced around the bend. I'm really keen to see how she goes up the straight once again. I mean, she's really going to be on a bicycle and they're going to have to catch her. She did pick up a penalty for running second beyond Anchorage. And that form line, Clyde, if you look at it, it hasn't fired up whatsoever. So that is a concern, but she could be way, way better up the straight. And she's only having her third start and she's got a lot of scope for improvement. On form, I mean, a horse like Valieva has to get closer. She's 3 kilograms better off for 3.5 length beating. Not enough to turn around the form. Clyde, these interviews with the jockeys post race are proving to be beneficial. And last time out, when Savannah ran second beyond Tuscan Romance, she got off and she said if she got a gap at a crucial stage of the race, she would have gone much closer. So Mr. Warren's got this 5-year-old mare in great form presently. I mean, her 2 runs under new ownership, I think Mr. Werner's owned Green Flash, have been really very encouraging. She's now up the classic straight over 1,000 meters. Gavin knows this filly or this mare extremely well. He's won 2 on her. So I think this is the danger to the favorite. However, they are drawn on opposite sides. So I'm not too sure if Green Flash is going to get the toe through that she needs because she does need to get some cover and rattle home late. So I think she will run into the money.
Okay, got that. Thank you very much. That's the running of the sevens. We've got one more to go. One more to go. Final event on the card now is a divided handicap. It's over 1,000 meters. And let's have a look at the last race market on this Monday morning, where the favourite is number 8, Tempranillo. It's trading at 28 to 10. And there has been some interest in it because it opened at around 7 to 2. So they backed Tempranillo. 5, Deal Maker is 3 to 1. They backed that as well. Savannah Valgello riding that for the Tony Peter stable. 9, Waiting on Charlie is also shortened into 13 to 2. The 2, Maverick Queen. Obviously, there'll be an update for that. Currently 10 to 1. So question mark about whether that runs or not. And then the One Season's Greetings. You can get a bit of 12s and better about the balance. The lucky last, Daryl.
Yes, and I just want to update the viewers, Clyde, that number 2, Maverick Queen, has just been scratched. Clyde, number 5, Deal Maker, there's an equipment change. The blinkers get removed. Now, last time out with Chad aboard, I mean, she just got an awful break, unfortunately, and that spoiled her chances because thereafter she over-raced and just compounded. Put a line through that start. Now, Tony has gone back to the drawing board. Well, not really back to the drawing board, but he's done a few other changes. He's put the tongue tie on, Clyde. He's put the earmuffs on, and he's put Savannah on, claiming the 4.5. They have been bitterly disappointed with this filly to date. They've now put her away for a couple of months, a good couple of months, 4 months. And I'm sure they've worked on her, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her making a winning return. Tempranillo set the record straight last time out. A very, very impressive win. On her debut effort, it got tight for her on that outside running rail with Muzi. And maybe it's just a blessing in disguise that she's drawn towards the middle, towards the inside, because she's got a lot of natural early toe and gate speed that Gavin can just work her, get her out and work her to the middle of the track where they'll have no excuses, unlike her debut effort. So I'm expecting her to go very close. The horse Savannah's jumped off. Number 13, Queen's Pact, her parents' horse. You know, Clyde, I think of a rating of 77. She's gonna run a blinder. I haven't been disappointed with her recent start. Her second start, or her penultimate start, was her second run off the layoff, and last time out was a strong race. She's back against her own sex. Like I said, her ratings come right down, another 4 pounds. She's gonna run a much improved race, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her fight out a quartet position. And number 1, Season's Greetings. Obviously, last time out she had excuses. I mean, she choked up. Now, having her peak run drawn on what possibly is the right side of the track, with the tongue tie being fitted, Clyde. She's a nice swinger and trifecta inclusion. So I've gone with a swinger box, my top 4 choices. I'm actually hoping that a horse like Queen's Pact could run into the placings and boost that dividend.
Got it. Thanks, Daryl. That's the latest from the Vaal, doing this on the Monday morning for the Tuesday meeting. We look forward to seeing you at the Vaal Racecourse on Tuesday.